Hello and welcome to the Through the Decades December 2025 Premodern Monthly, coming to you from Through the Decades in Louisville, Kentucky. Today we'll be showcasing the round 2 matchup between John on a Blue-Green Madness list and Austin on a pretty sweet Cradle Control list. As before, we'll have Austin commentating this match, so he'll be able to provide some insight from his side of the match. But before we get to the gameplay, let's take a look at those lists, starting with Austin's take on Cradle Control. All right, and for starters, we do have Austin Zachary's Cradle Control list, or at least your take on Cradle Control. So, Austin, you're the one that played this, so break it down for me. What exactly are you trying to do here?
Yeah, so if you look at this is a survival of the fittest deck. So I'm really going to try to run my game plan through a survival of the fittest play style. I have 11 or 10 one mana dorks, four birds, four three Wana War, three Fendhorn elves to get the party started. And I have a bunch of one ofs, as you can see here in the third row. I have a small elves package with Priest, Wirewood, Multani's Acolyte, and Quarian Ranger.
Not to
Uh,
mention those
so
deranged hermits as well.
yeah, those Deranged Hemorrhage are going to be my big end game plan here. Um, but I have a lot of one ofs, Orca Settlers to help kind of slow them down, blow up their lands.
Oof.
Kesa will pump all green creatures by one, so it just makes my little 1/1s that are running around 2/2, so they're a lot more formidable. Nantuko Vigilante is a good card to blow up any pesky artifacts or enchantments. Skytrap Poacher will let me find any elves cards. Kesa is an elf. Deranged Hermit is an elf. So I can start tutoring those guys up. Thornscape Battle Mage will just deal with any pesky artifacts or creatures as well. Along with the Squee and the Anger to help make my guys hasty, and Squee just gives me card advantage through a grindy survival of the fittest game.
Yeah. Plus, I also see a
I also have
Genesis there.
yeah, the Genesis is also for the grindy matchups. If we are trading resources back and forth, I can put a Genesis in the graveyard and start recouping old creatures that they killed. So just try to grind them out with incremental card advantage to where they have nothing, and I will win a game with any like random deranged hermit that comes off blades.
Now, you were going to comment, I think it was on the Masticore, it sounded like.
Yeah, the Masticore, just a good if I'm playing against goblins or elves or any other deck that plays a bunch of small creatures, they can start machine gunning down. You can see under the Masticore, I have four guys Cradle in this deck. So if I have four, five, six creatures out, that guy's Cradle is going to make a bunch of mana where I can start putting them into that Masticore to help machine gun down their board.
Yeah. Now, also, I do see here. Now, Thornscape Battle Mage is also an elf itself. So, with the Wirewood symbiote, you're able to do another machine gun with just bouncing that and replaying it to do 2 damage to, say, a Goblin Lackey or even a Pile Driver at that point to kind of help keep your opponent on the back foot there. Because
Yeah.
Goblins is usually a terrible matchup for the Elves list. And Kesa really helps with that, plus the ability to have other removal spells. I also do want to point out that abundance there, which is just disgusting with Sylvan Library.
Yeah, that is a Justin Provençal innovation into this deck. He took this deck to the top four of the Fall Brawl, and that was a big innovation that he put into this. So I followed suit with adding the abundance in there.
Oh no, I think it looks wonderful there. And yeah, as you said, you are leaning all in on four guys Cradle just to be able to abuse that much mana. I'm sure the survival of the fittest lines are there enough to just give you a headache.
Oh yeah,
Now, out of the sideboard, let's see here. You've got your usual suspects of bullets, an extra vigilante, Caller of the Claw to prevent wraths, Uktabi Orangutan, Goblin Tinkerer. The Pyroclasm is what really surprises me here, considering how many one drop and one butts you have in the deck. Uh, is that just to help shore up the Goblin matchup some more? Is there any other reason that you have that there?
no, you're right. It's really just goblins. As you're alluding to before, goblins has just always been classically a bad matchup for elves. So whenever I have a pyroclasm, I know about it. I can kind of play around it a little bit, be able to trick it with like my Wirewood symbiote to pick up stuff, or just not play into it as much. They'll extend out too far, and then you can pyroclasm their board away and play your birds afterwards or so, just to keep up in front of them.
Yeah, I guess you do get to do a nice facsimile of building up blockers like your Wall of Blossoms to cantrip, sort of help slow them down a little bit. Then they have to commit more to the board. Then you get to Pyroclasm and keep your blockers afterwards that have already replaced themselves. So it's just card advantage after card advantage for you, and that seems pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And then, of course, your other part of your sideboard here, I see your Crypts, anti-combo, your Goblin Sharpshooter to help with Goblin matchups or other minor creature decks. Tranquil Domain, therefore, probably what, Replenish and Enchantress. And
Yep.
then
Those are
and
two
then
big
your
matchups.
your mana denial strategies, your Winter Orbs and your Tangle Wires to help either against control or again, kind of like the Enchantress matchup, to just keep them on their back foot while you can continue to advance your board state. Is that a correct assessment?
Yep. It kind of, like I said, is a mini elves package. So traditional elves, a lot of them do play Winter Orb and Tangle Wire in the main. So if I want to kind of go to that more traditional elves plan, I can move those Winter Orbs and Tangle Wires into the main and play kind of a elves style game plan.
All right, well, that seems pretty good. And let's see how that does against your opponent, whose deck list we are approximating because we haven't been able to get an actual deck list from him. But up next, we'll take a look here at John's blue-green madness list. All right, and here we've got, like I said, an approximation of John's list. We were not able to get an actual copy of his deck list or a deck photo from him. So this is just a pretty bog standard blue-green madness list. I'm pretty sure he's not playing Ray of Revelation or Intuition, but we're doing the best we have with what we've got available to us. I know he does play a lot of these other cards, though. Now, blue-green madness historically is your classic aggro control list. They like using cards like Wild Mongrel and Aquamoeba, excuse me, to discard cards, get your Basking Root Wallas and your Arrogant Worms in on the cheap, and then being able to use this cheap or free counter magic, for example, Foil Daze and Circular Logic to keep uh, pressure on your opponents until you can kill them before they can get off the stumble that you've basically put them on using this cheap interaction.
Yeah, and you could really tie the room together with 3 Frantic Search, 4 Careful Study, just to get the badness train rolling early. You've also got the good late game plan of playing, discarding a Roar of the Worm and then playing it back for its flashback cost to put a big 6/6 beater into play. Um, and there's a couple extra things like Deep Analysis to keep the card flow moving. Wonder, if you have an island out, it makes all of your guys flying. So if they are playing a bunch of ground creatures, Wonder lets you fly over top of them. And then if any big creatures that you can't deal with come on to the battlefield, you can play a Wonderfront Bouncer and bounce it back to their hand. So
Yeah.
a lot of good tools in this deck list.
Yeah, now I do know, if I remember correctly, John does play Gush in his list, if I'm remembering that correctly. I think I remember having seen two Wonder out of him, because I have remembered swordsing one of them and then seeing a second one in the graveyard. So, like I said, this is an approximation, so we're going to be kind of guessing, but this is generally the idea of what we're doing here with a blue-green madness list. So we won't actually comment on the sideboard, and even between game 2 and 3, if that happens, we won't be commenting on that at all, just because we don't know what is in his sideboard, so we can't even begin to approximate what he'll be bringing in against this matchup. But if someone could have ideal cards against you, what would you think those would be? I'm assuming Naturalize to get rid of your Sylvan Libraries and your Survival. Anything else that you would really expect? Maybe like a Knowles also?
Yeah. Yeah, Annul would be the other big one. Just the same thing. The help counterspell my Sylvan Libraries and Survival of the Fittest. I really do play through that survival to hold up a lot of my game plans. So getting rid of that or countering that would be good on his side.
All right, fair enough. Well, and with that, let's get to our matches. All right, and looks like we've got opening hands here. John is currently mulled down to 6, and he is going to keep this hand. We do want to fast forward at least to the point where we are keeping hands. We don't just want to sit and watch people mulligan. But here we go. So he's mulled, and that is John on the left and Austin here on the right. Austin, you're starting here with just a Forest and Go. Now that's a little odd for you, considering the 10 one-mana creatures you have.
Yeah, but if you could see, I believe I have a Survival of the Fittest in hand to get this started.
Okay. I
So
see an
we'll see.
Anger, a Wooded Foothills, a Birds of Paradise, a Genesis. Okay, there's your survival. So
Yep.
you are starting this party early.
Mm-hmm. And like we were saying, I'll play most of my game through that survival, doing some cheeky stuff to get probably squee in the graveyard to help start up the card advantage.
Yeah.
Start playing some mana dorks to help later turns get
Now,
more mana. Yep.
now, a part we didn't talk about here, we do see John does have a Treetop Village. So it looks like he has at least one man land there to help against control matchups. I'm assuming it's not going to do much here, and it's only tapping for green, unfortunately. You would think that he would want to at least have some sort of blue source up for this game. Oh,
Yeah.
and a Gaia's Cradle from you, so you are about to get explosive on your turn 3.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's
Yep.
cheat
Yep.
count number 1 for you, forgetting to count
Hey,
your
I
damage
got
here.
it. I got it.
I mean, you did. So let's see here. You tapped 2 mana, so I'm assuming we're getting Squee, binning Squee, and then probably getting.
Yeah. So I pitched the
Oh,
anger to start with, and then went and grabbed squee. So now I have both the anger and the squee in the graveyard. And if you
okay.
also notice, it looks like John missed his third land drop.
Yeah.
Also, he missed blue mana, so you can see in his hand, I believe he had a daze and a yeah, he also has a mana leak in there, so he has a couple cards that are stranded right now in his hand. So
Yeah. His interaction is all blue here unless he has a main deck naturalize, which he may or may not. I cannot speak to that, but if he had the main deck naturalize, he'd be jamming that already. So I don't think that's the case. So you are just jamming a turn 3. Ugh.
yeah,
That is
so
disgusting.
with him not having blue mana, I know I don't have to worry about daze or anything counterspell wise, so I could just freely jam this deranged tournament into his board, and it's going to
Yep.
really slow
Uh,
him down. Yeah,
he's
like you said,
he's packing
looks
up.
like he's not even going to try.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is way too bad hit for him right now. He cannot beat that. So we are going straight to our sideboards here. And so we're going to take a peek at your list and see exactly what you think you're going to bring in. I guess we could also watch here, but let's actually just hear it from the horse's mouth itself. So let's see what you think we should be doing.
From this, I don't think I brought in too much. I could see myself. Yeah, it looks like I brought in the winter orbs like I thought, but I bet that's probably all I really need this matchup.
Okay, so if you're bringing in winter
But
orbs, what do you think we should be cutting here?
I'm going to be cutting a lot of the one ofs. So the Nantuko Vigilante seems like not a very good card. They
Yeah.
usually have. I know John doesn't play Survival Madness, so I know he doesn't have any survivals of his own, so that's not going to have any targets. Um, the Skytrap Poacher would probably be another card I look to take out just because it just is more of a long, grindy game, and I know that Madness is going to be a lot more tempo, kind of aggro control, so that doesn't seem like a great spot. And kind of to the same point, I think Genesis will probably be taken out as well, just for that same reason. So that I think that would be my cuts. Looking back at it, what I would have done.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty straightforward cut there. Um, do you think an argument could be made for Orcish Settlers? I know his mana base is held together by a wing and a prayer sometimes, being a 2-color deck in this format, but
That could also very definitely be taken out. I don't think I did for this matchup, just because I can't exactly give you a good reason why. But that's I'm thinking back. That's what I believe I did.
you could
But I
I
think
guess
Orca
you
Settlers
could
is a good.
you could cut the Tormod, or you could bring in the Tormod script as your 4th sideboard piece, just as a means to get Wonder and Roar of the Worms out of the graveyard, but that might be a little too niche. I agree with Sky Shroud Poacher trying to get up to 4 mana against a deck that is trying to actively tax you, with their counter spells, days, like trying to jam a 4-drop that can do well might hurt. Now, obviously, you want to leave in the deranged tournaments because that thing ended the game immediately as soon as it hit the table. But I can agree with you on the Poacher and the Vigilante, the Genesis, and the Orcish Settlers as maybe the 4th card. But we will see what you brought in once we start looking at game 2 right now. All right, it looks like you're mulling to 6 here. All right, oh, you brought in the Winter Orb, and there's a Sky Shroud Poacher, so it looks like we had it already wrong.
I'll keep this.
But that hand still seems pretty sweet.
All
I see
start us off.
Bird or Elf, Survival, Fetch, Cradle, Orb.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, this looks pretty good.
Supposed to play that card.
Yep. Started off with a good turn one elf. Asked him if he had a stifle in his hand because he left open a blue. So thankfully he did not have a stifle for that. And it looks like we have a turn 2 wild Mongol, right exactly where he wants to be.
Exactly. The downside here is going to be when you play this Cradle and probably this. It's not a Survival in your hand, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be disgusting.
So here's second elf. Yep, into a Cradle, into a Survival. So
That's
this is a
gotta
very good
feel
start for me.
that's got to feel bad for John over here. Like if he's got Days in his hand, that's pretty useless. Now we see a Crypt and a Careful Study, so at least he's going to get to see some extra cards. Not that I'm actively going to root against you, but he's definitely hoping to see at least one Basking Root Wall, maybe a second one.
Yep.
No, just a Gus.
The one in the gush. So he gets to play that for free for its madness cost for discarding it. Yep. And there's a Tormount script. So that will definitely limit me. I won't be able to go get Squee and start accruing the card advantage that way. So I'll have to play a little bit of a slower game plan this time around.
Yeah, your side.
You have to be slightly more fair.
Yep. I also did not use the survival end of turn, so looks like I wanted to keep all of my cards in hand.
Yeah, now you just drew, if I remember correctly, the elf that's in your hand, so you definitely
Yes.
didn't have that to bend. The Wall of Blossom is going to be great at holding back either one of these creatures. Certainly the Root Wall. If John wants to discard 2 cards to kill a Wall of Blossoms, I can't say we'd be too upset about that.
No, I would not be upset about that at all. So it looks like I played the third elf out to have more. Oh, and now I use a Cradle for the Wall of Blossoms.
John making sure that we have very clear which creatures are summoning sick and which creatures are not.
Yep. So we
As silly as this
looks like
seems, it almost seems like. Oh, sorry.
It looks like I have an Altani's Acolyte out to the front right now looking at it.
I was almost
Kind of like
thinking
I was saying.
this would be a good position for the Sky Shroud Poacher.
Yes, it would. But it looks like I'm going to be doing more of a more of the elves game plan.
Yeah.
So I can pick up one of those elves. It taps for more for the guy's Cradle, so it looks like I'm tapping for 5.
We're tapping for. Hell, at this point, you could bounce an elf, go get a Hermit Druid, or excuse me, Deranged Hermit. Yep. Or
So
you
now
get
it
a
gives me the
Kesa.
food. Yeah. John's being very helpful on my mana.
I'm thinking it's Hermit or Kesa is where we want to go with this mana. That definitely prevents you from putting too much in the bin.
Wall blossoms.
Okay. Looks like I went for the second Wall of Blossoms.
Okay.
Draw a card on Wall blossoms.
Any thoughts if you wanted to go for Wall of Blossoms instead of going for the Altani's Acolyte so you can continue to accrue card advantage with the Wirewood Symbiote?
Yeah, I think I did the Wall Blossoms because kind of like we were talking before when this turn started, it blocks the Wild Mongol pretty well. It blocks the Root Balla. So I think I was just looking for trying to go a little more shields up than what a Motani's Acolyte. Yeah, and I also have this Winter Orb to help slow him down. Well, it's not really going to slow down my production because I have that Gaia's Cradle.
No, you have
That's
one
still
land that taps for 4 mana?
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
All right, so he pitched a wonder. So my game plan of holding him back with gumming up the ground is not working now. And
No, not
you
at
see
all.
he attacked for 4 as well. So he's definitely got me under the gun. I've also got myself under a winter orb. So we'll see if I'm able to get out of this.
Yeah, but being under a winter orb for you is still having access to what I see 7 mana right now.
Yeah. So
So you're quote
it's not a
unquote
huge
under
hindrance.
a winter orb.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, I do have to say I appreciate you leaving a green mana counter for us.
Yeah.
All right, we're going up to
We got
6.
6.
Discarding down,
So it
going to
looks
5. There's your
Yep.
hermit.
So I pull a range hermit pretty quickly.
Yeah, there was a play land for turn, and then spend the 5 to play during. It'll be your go after.
Yeah, played a land to help play around days
Yes.
as well.
Well, you also had a Llanowar Elves
An elf,
over
yeah.
there to take care of that. Now, what's going to be disgusting is next turn when you're able to just bounce the deranged hermit during this turn, recast, have infinite tokens, and then go get a Kesa and murder John is the polite way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
That's
But I am also very much
sorry.
under the gun with 2 flying guys. I believe he had 4 cards in hand at this point. So I think John's doing the same math that I was doing at this time. So yeah, it does look like he has 4 cards in hand. So right now he could pump up the Root Walla. Yeah, and put me to 5. So he only had 4 cards or he put me to 6. Okay, he only had 4 cards in hand.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, I gotta think.
He wasn't able to throw everything into the Wild Mongrel to kill me.
So he's tapped out. So
Yep.
if you
So
bounce,
I'm doing the math right now for the Deranged Hermit to see if I pick it up and play Deranged Hermit again, is that enough to kill him? Which at this point I don't believe it is. I don't have a Mountain or the Anger in the graveyard, and with him having a Tormod's Crypt, I'm not able to put the Anger in. He would crack the Tormod's Crypt before I would be able to go to combat and have everything with haste. So I believe that is the calculus I'm doing right now. So I play back the Deranged Hermit. I now have 8 squirrels.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing it this way. 4 of them can attack, 4 of them cannot.
Yeah.
Okay, so I play land. Okay, so I believe I'm doing the calculus right now. If I play a second Deranged Hermit, would that kill him? Which it does not look like it will, because it would make the 4 squirrels that can attack 3/3s. So that's only 12 damage with him being at 20. The Wirewood Symbiote would be able to attack, so that's only attacking for 13 right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like I'm taking that back. Yep.
I had to untap. So tap these guys. It's 5.
Okay, so I'm back to 5 mana. And this is what a survival deck will do to you. It'll definitely put you through your paces on thinking there's so many different ways that this turn could go. So, okay. I just have to think of every single creature that's in my deck to see, is there a line to where either I kill him this turn or I don't die on the crackback to his flying Wild Mongrel and Basking Root Walla.
Yeah, so if you're ever here, we're usually used to be down there.
I'm assuming Masticore doesn't get us here.
No, with him having too many cards in hand, I can never Masticore a Machine Gun on a Wild Mongrel, which at this point, it's going to still be lethal on board. Okay, so it looks like I'm grabbing Birds of Paradise,
You're getting
which
a flying blocker. That is
Exactly. It's just flying blockers. That's all I care about. And next turn, I can attack for 8 this turn. Or it looks like I picked up the deranged terms to do this. So I can attack for 4, but I'll have 8 squirrels. I can start playing a bunch of deranged tournaments next turn, and it'll be more than lethal on the
Yeah.
ground.
It seems like right now you're just trying to kill him next turn. Yeah, that's gonna get it there. If he doesn't have any removal, fortunately, having that Winter Orb will keep him pretty locked down.
I want to try to do it again.
Yep. Okay. So I had a second range tournament in hand, thinking, would that do it? Yeah. So I'm gonna have to pitch both of them.
Get another bird. Yeah.
You get a pair of birds. That's
Go to attacks.
shields up.
I will
Yep.
attack with 4 squirrels. And this.
I am surprised you're not swinging with the. I guess the symbiote would be bad if they had another Basking Root Wall in hand.
Yeah. That was what I was thinking as well. Just another Bastion Root Wall. We'll trade that off, and
Yeah, and that's not where you want
I
to be
would
right
like that
now.
to be. Yeah.
No.
Mm.
Also, I appreciate your flipping the Wirewood symbiote upside down to indicate. I know that's kind of like the general practice that we do in the pre-modern
Yep.
community.
The old tried and true. Yep.
Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. So now it looks like John is trying to figure out how can he kill me this turn or not die on this crackback, which again the Winter Orb is coming out very well here where I can just block. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it looks like he's just gonna try to not die, but I think he's gonna be in a really hard spot here with me having 12 mana.
Yeah, that's gonna make that circular logic. I think I can see in his hand pretty useless.
Yeah. So the counter comes back.
To untap, pick this up. So it's there. So I'm at 2. I guess I've been thinking about. I tap that first before I pick. Or yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I'm tapping.
I tap
It's a little bit out of order, but I am tapping the Guy's Cradle while I have every creature out before I pick it up with Wirewood Symbiote.
That's just 14. Pick this up.
Yeah.
All right, we're going down to 13 mana.
I hope I get there. I don't just keep that mana floating. Yeah. Okay. So it looks like I picked a third range tournament. Yep, and then I cast it.
So I will now have 8. I have 8 that can attack, 8 that cannot.
4. But yeah.
I'm gonna stay in. I'm gonna pitch that. I'm gonna get queso.
Okay, so the queso comes in, so it makes all of my squirrels 3/3s, and I have 8 attackers, so that'll be 24 damage. He won't be able to block all of that.
He's got a circular logic, it looks like, in his hand, I think. Yeah, so he could counter that. I don't think that queso should resolve here, but
I think so, but I think I'm just kind of going.
It's
Okay, it looks like
16, 7. Yeah, the set, like even with the circular logic, that would just be 2 power squirrels, which would be 16 power, 17 with the symbiote coming across, so 15 hitting no matter what. So yeah, this is pretty solid there. That's a.
Okay, and then you had one more.
Yep, and this is just a very good demonstration on the power of survival of the fittest. It was able to find me all of my deranged hermits to get enough power to beat him across the finish line, while also finding the birds of paradise that I used to block. So it was just anything that I needed. I was able to find it and get across the finish line just before he was able to fly over my guys and kill me.
Yeah, he picked the role of the beatdown, and you were able to beat down just a little faster than he was this time. Now let's see exactly what you took out here, since we were wrong on the Sky Shroud Poacher, and actually that would have been a really good pickup there.
Do this, and I'm like, okay, what the hell is in my deck that makes it where I don't die? And I'm like, wait, I have birds, birds get in the way of these.
Also, I will say it was a very fortunate pickup for you that you were able to get the
I had to
the survival, because
I was playing
your deck probably does not do as much without the survivals.
How do I?
Yeah, no, the survivals are very much the linchpin of the deck, and
this sucks.
okay, looks like we're not able to see my sideboard plans. Huh?
Oh man.
All right, those winter orbs. Yeah, we were absolutely right on the orbs there.
Orbs the right thing to bring in against you.
You even asking him if you think it's good.
It's like I cut these
Okay.
guys. These do like nothing against you.
Okay, so I did cut both
So
of the
it's like,
Swordscape Outrages.
better
And that makes a good amount of sense because doing 2 damage to a lot of his creatures don't really do a whole lot. The Aquamoeba is a 1/3 right off the bat. Wild Mongol can pump itself into a 4/4 or a 3/3 to get out of range of that. Mala is a 1/1 that can pump up to a 3/3, but even if he doesn't have the mana to pop up to a 3/3, it's not a big loss on his side.
Yeah,
And
because he probably
the
got some advantage out of the root wall in the first place.
exactly. So doing 2 damage to this Madness deck is not really where you want to be, which also makes sense on why I did not bring in the Pyroclasm. It's going to be the same story for the Pyroclasms as well.
Yeah, but it's more evident that the Pyroclasm is just bad against them because it can clean up some 1/1s and that's it. The Mongrel and the yes, that certainly makes more sense. If we're not bringing in Pyroclasm, we're definitely cutting the Thornscape Battlemage. So yeah, okay, I agree with that. All right. Well, with this being that for this round, we're gonna wrap it up here, and we'll be back later with more pre-modern content from through the decades in Louisville, Kentucky.
I agree.